everybody. It's Lisa. Oh, with Heart of Inspiration. How are you guys doing? Yes, we're in the middle of Mercury Retrograde. Well, not the middle. We just started. And so I wanted to jump on this morning. I know I don't come on in the mornings a lot anymore. Hey, good morning. But I wanted to talk about love and Mercury retrograde, relationships and Mercury retrograde. Hey, yes, dear. So this is gonna be brief, but so Mercury retrograde started on the 7th, so we're just 2 days in, and we're also in the middle. Yeah, yesterday was tough. We also are in the middle of this eclipse cycle, right? The solar eclipse that happened on the 2nd, and then the lunar eclipse is happening on, the partial lunar eclipse is happening on the 16th. And I did do a lunar eclipse video. I'm going to try to put the card in here, or the end screen on here, to kind of take a peek at that. One is, there's certain aspects of the Mercury retrograde that really can be trying on relationships, or in general, okay? So first of all, guys, remember that during Mercury really talks is all about, we know it's about electronics, communication. It's also about thought and decisions. Mercury being the ruling planet for Gemini. Geminis think quickly, make decisions quickly. They make, they might say things that, I don't want to get hit. They might say things that they regret a little bit later, right? All that kind of stuff. So we got to remember especially during Mercury retrograde, first of all, communication is going to be a little tough. We, especially because right now, Mercury's in retrograde, Venus is transiting, moving into opposition of Saturn, okay? Moving into opposition to Saturn, which is structure, foundation, material, money, all that kind of stuff. So all of this can be a tad bit difficult, right? So if you're in a relationship right now, potentially you or your partner, there might be some, abundance or money problems going on as well. Perhaps the structure of your relationship is, it's been a little iffy for a while, right? The foundation has been a little iffy for a while, okay? So here we come into the retrograde time, and holy cats, now we're not talking. Okay, I've noticed in some love readings lately, it's like people are holding back, people aren't talking. What's going on? What's going on is Mercury retrograde. No, people aren't talking. The communication is a little tense, right? There's this tenseness because of actually more so the transit, with Venus kind of coming into opposition to Saturn, and Saturn being in retrograde, a little bit more focused on ourselves. So it may seem like the two of you aren't really coming together to talk about things like money. The two of you aren't coming together to talk about things like, how is our relationship going to be structured from here forward? It seems like it's a little wonky, a little crazy. Now, Neptune being in retrograde as well and sextiling Saturn helps, because you're thinking, okay, something good could potentially happen from this at the end of it all. But it's still like, right? And also the sun is coming into opposition of the moon. That's what a lunar eclipse is. A solar eclipse is a conjunction, right? The solar eclipse is in conjunction, the moon is in conjunction with the sun. When the sun comes into opposition of the moon, then that's when we end up with this lunar eclipse. Now, with that happening, you can't really see, right? You can't really see. You know, we see during the day. It's when the sun is out, everything is illuminated. You can see the road, you can see the sides of the road, you can see ahead of you. If you turn around, you can see what was behind you. Like, you can see. Moonlight is nowhere near as illuminating. We really can't see in the dark, right? We don't have cat eyes. So when the sun opposes the moon, you start to doubt everything that you have been seeing up until this point. You start to doubt whether or not the things you thought, were the innermost feelings, the things that you thought were the innermost what have you, that you held dear to you. You doubt your intuition. Am I really, does he really or she really love me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're doubting yourself, you're doubting your intuition, you're doubting everything. Foundationally, it's rocky, and nobody's talking. Okay? Nobody's talking. People holding back. So listen, I'm going to say this because, Mercury's going to retrograde for a hot minute. But Venus will not be opposing Saturn for a very long time. And with the full moon approaching, fast approaching, right? We're also going to feel like, the full moon is completion of cycles, right? The new moon is the start of the cycle. The full moon is the completion of the cycle. Things we have to let go, things how we should, do differently or what have you. So I'm going to give you this advice. Love and retrograde in juxtaposition with the lunar eclipse, because there's a lot. Please don't make a lot of fast decisions right now. Don't decide right now if you're going to break up. Yes, nothing's happening because nobody's talking. All right? Nothing's happening. Nobody's talking. Please don't make a whole lot of snap decisions at the moment. I want to see. Money is a problem. Yeah. Money is a little tough. Money's a little tough. Hey, Raina. Money's tough this week for me as well. I think for everybody right now, well, whatever. It's not necessarily that it's been tough. It's just not been as plentiful, but it's a transit, okay? When Venus is in opposition to Venus is love and money, okay? So it's coming into opposition to Saturn. So your love and your money could be a problem. So listen, don't make snap decisions. Try not to get into really deep, long-term discussions. Definitely not until after the 16th. I would say that. Definitely not until after the 16th. Because remember, what is a transit? A transit is the planets moving. Shonda and I were just talking about this yesterday from Shonda Rise, so please go to her channel and subscribe. Transiting planets are always moving. Okay, so that's the one thing that you can always know is that it's going to move. So this is temporary. So please do not get into deep discussions about stuff. None of this long term. Are we going to get married? Are we going to move in together? Are we going to break up? Are we going to? No. None of that right now. None of that right now, please. Because, you're going to be a lot more agitated, okay? Our moods right now are probably going to be more on, this potential to be really upset and agitated. We have the potential for our fuses to be short during this time period. Because all the while all of this is going on, those of us that are, aware, and we're in tune with planetary cosmic energies and our own energy, we're rather sensitive to all of this movement, and we're going through our own growth spurt. And we're going through a pretty big growth spurt right now, spiritually. And we have to remember that the growth spurt that we're going through is individual. This is not a union, collective as far as your relationship growth spurt. This is an individual time of growing, of becoming even more aware, of the veil being thinned, of you really having gifts illuminated to you that heretofore weren't necessarily for some people. For others, it's a reactivation of these gifts, but everything is like on 10. Okay? Everything is on 10. So we're going to be a little more sensitive. I was just having a session with somebody last night, and it's like, right now, I don't like humans much. I'm okay with y'all, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm getting irritated with, as Raina would say, low vibrational humans. Like it's hard for me at the moment. And I apologize, I can't really read the comments while I'm driving, guys. It's hard sometimes, right? I'm not manifesting it. I'm just stating a fact that it's easy for me to get irritated with people right now. And I don't get irritated that quickly. But a lot of us that are at this point, we're like, if you're not really making changes in your life, then I can't do it, right? Can't do it. You're not even trying. I can't do it. So our tempers are going to be shorter right now. So during Mercury retrograde, don't make any snap decisions. Understand that your temper is potentially going to be a lot shorter right now. Understand that there can be a lot of miscommunication and misunderstanding. So when you're talking with somebody, can't be moody. Yeah, no kidding. When you're talking with your loved one, okay, really choose your words carefully, and please think about what you're going to say before you say it. Make sure that you are being very clear with your intention. Make sure you're being very clear with the meaning behind what you're saying. I probably wouldn't do a whole lot of texting unless you could be very expressive in your text. And let's be honest, people don't want to read novels and text messages. I don't. So maybe I'm too old, but I certainly do not. Okay? I certainly do not want to be reading a novel in my text messages. Okay? Now, so not a whole lot of texting. Okay? If you got to email and do it electronically, just be sure you are being very, very explanatory, because there can be misunderstandings and miscommunications, people. Rampant misunderstanding and miscommunication. All right? Also, another reason to not be running around here texting all the time, your text message might not even go through, baby. Mercury retrograde. Electronics can get to acting up. So please try not to. Try to talk so that somebody can hear the inflection in your voice. Really communicate that way. Okay? If there are things that your loved one, your potential, whatever does, that really irritates your soul, as my daughter says, please don't do that. Please don't focus on that. Please don't put yourself in a position that they can do it, because it's going to get on your nerves and grate your nerves times 10. Okay? Don't do that either. This is not a really good time necessarily to start a new relationship either. It really isn't a good time to start it. This is a time, overall, I titled this Mercury Retrograde. But understand, I'm also talking about how Mercury is interacting and the other planets are interacting with one another. Jupiter is in retrograde as well. Retrogrades are times for self-reflection and self-care, self-observation. It's a time to deal with yourself. It's a time to analyze your motivations. It's time to look at how you've been moving. It's a time to look at, are the plans as you've been executing them good plans or are they poor plans? But this is not necessarily a time to make life-changing decisions as far as your interaction with your significant other. You need to look how you are presenting yourself in the relationship. And you need to be really taking stock in, is this person really satisfying my needs, wants, desires? Am I looking for needs, wants, and desires in the other person that I should be getting from myself? Okay? That's what retrograde times are for. So, big ideas, Sagittarian, Jupiter. Big plans, big stuff. Right? So, all of that. So, if you thought you was going to walk down the aisle, or y'all was finna move in and the toothbrush was finna be permanently in your bathroom, or yours and theirs, you might want to rethink, is this the right time for all such and such and so and so? Is this the right time for that? What am I bringing to the table? Saturn in retrograde. Okay, what about the money? What about the money? You know, there was a song back in the 80s, ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a job if you want to be with me. Now listen, I'm not saying that money is everything, but this might be a good time to analyze your finances and maybe, after all this is over, kind of analyze each other. Is this the right time? And the rent is too damn high. Neptune retrograde. That's the dreams. That's the spirituality. Are you two compatible spiritually? Spiritually, is this feeding you? Spiritually, are you two growing? Spiritually, are they growing? Okay? And Pluto retrograde. Yes, Pluto retrograde. Oh boy. That's a shake-up. That's a shake-up. Pluto retrograde is all about that transformation. Also, a lot about, sexual issues, deviance, that kind of stuff too. It's like them deep, dark secrets you don't necessarily want, but it's a shake-up. Okay? So, really, is this person growing, changing, transforming always? Because you don't want a person that is stuck in the mud and never grows. Okay? You don't want that. You also don't want a cheater and all that. So do not be shocked. Y'all seen already that man Jeffrey Epstein, or whatever his name is, that's one sexual. Look for some more. We're not done. We're not done. Okay? We're not done. So It could be some issues there, right? Maybe they, maybe you're gonna find out that they, haven't been as faithful as you thought, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Or if you dipping and dapping and ducking and diving, maybe yours is coming out too now. Don't be surprised. Anyway, and Mercury retrograde is things you have not communicated coming to the front. All right? Things you have not been saying coming out all of a sudden. Or they've not been saying, all of a sudden it comes out. So bottom line is this. Watch how you're moving. Watch how you're communicating. Watch how, all of this is going. Don't try not to get into arguments. Please try to be very calm in your communication. Rational. Gemini is an air sign. Try to take some of the emotion out of it. Okay? Calm, rational. But please, this is not a good time to be, oh baby, let's get married. Oh baby, let's move in. Oh baby, you get on my last earthly nerve and unearthly nerve. It's time for us to break up. Okay? It ain't time for all that right now. Don't make any rash decisions. Don't make any bold, broad statements. Keep it in check, y'all. You can survive it. Your relationship can survive it. But you gotta, let's chill. Let's chill. Right? And settle yourself. Right? So you can make it. You can make it. But you gotta zip it. I'm telling you, do not. Because I can see some of y'all saying some stuff and being like, well, I thought you wanted to be with me. I thought that I was the only one. Or I thought you wanted to make this thing work, and we was gonna be committed, and we was this, and we was that, and your head get to moving, and your voice get raised, and then they be like, I'm out. You crazy. Deranged. Don't you know I just, I didn't get that promotion, boo-boo. I can see some of y'all going ham over the littlest thing. Don't do it. Okay, just step away. Close the mouth, zip it, observe, and especially, and once we get through this lunar eclipse, then y'all can start to deal with it, okay? But right now, all of these energies are too intense for y'all to be, always got something to say. Do you this weekend? Do you this weekend? Okay, do you this weekend? And enjoy yourself. All right, I'm out of here. I'm almost to work, but I had to tell y'all that because I don't want to see a whole lot of breakups, next week. And, y'all asked me, is the ex coming back? Because, we just got into a big argument. I've warned you. This is the warning. Don't get into them arguments. I don't want to hear about it. Okay? Next week. I don't want to hear about it next week. So don't be getting into them darn arguments. All right, y'all. I love all y'all. And I'm telling I'm telling myself, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm telling myself too, because I'm ready to pop off. So anyway, all right, guys, you guys have a wonderful day. I love you. We'll see you later on tonight. Bye-bye.